We've got more now on that bombshell revelation from Arizona Senator Martha McSally. At a hearing on Capitol Hill, McSally, the first female fighter pilot to fly a combat mission, said a superior officer raped her when she was serving in the Air Force. She says she did not immediately report this incident because she did not trust the system. She also talked about it on CBS This Morning in a new interview out today, and we want to play you a part of that. Watch this.
Do you think the prevalence of sexual assault and abuse in the military is a national security threat?
I do. For sure, I don't want people to think like, well, maybe it's just all these problems we have now that are women in the military. Think about it. If you have a predator, if you have a rapist who's serving in uniform, you don't deal with it by keeping a woman out of their unit, because that predator is going to go assault someone else.
Last May, the Defense Department released a report that found the reporting of sexual assaults involving service members increased nearly 10% in 1 year. I'm joined now by retired Army Colonel Ellen Herring, a West Point graduate and the CEO of the Service Women's Action Network. Colonel Herring was in the room when Senator McSally talked about all of this. Colonel Herring, thank you very much for being with us here. So I actually want to play for you a little piece of what the senator said at that Armed Services Subcommittee hearing that related to sexual assault in the military. Let's watch.
Like you, I am also a military sexual assault survivor. But unlike so many brave survivors, I didn't report being sexually assaulted. Like so many women and men, I didn't trust the system at the time. I blamed myself. I was ashamed and confused. And I thought I was strong, but felt powerless. The perpetrators abused their position of power in profound ways. And in one case, I was preyed upon and then raped by a superior officer.
You were in the room for that. Can you talk about what it was like sort of being in that moment?
So I've known Martha many years now, actually since before she was a congresswoman, and I had no idea. She's never talked about that before. So it was stunning and kind of heartbreaking to hear. It was emotionally driven. She did a good job getting through it, but it was hard.
And as you said, you've watched it now sort of again and again.
I have, because, well, of course I was troubled by what she said, although not surprised, frankly, because I work with survivors all the time.
Right,
yeah,
right.
I work with survivors all the time. That's what one of the things our organization does. But what surprised me was the fact that she still wants to have commanders in that decision-making process. That's where we differ significantly. I don't think commanders are trained. I don't have they have the experience. I think there's a lot of conflict of interest, and that commanders need to be removed from the decision-making process.
Do you agree with the senator when she was asked, is this a national security threat, the prevalence of sexual assault in the military? So I'll pose the same question to you. Do you believe that it is?
That's a good question. I guess yes. The answer would be yes, because to me, what I would like us to do is start calling this fratricide within the ranks. And when you have service members who are attacking other service members, you have a serious breakdown in the relationship in a team relationship. So I do think that there's a significant problem, and the idea that commanders are equipped to solve this problem is, to me, unreasonable. Now, what I do agree with her on is that commanders are part of the solution. They have to be involved in this. They have to stand up and say, enough. We're not going to allow this. We're going to treat this as fratricide.
The Air Force had a response that came out, I think, late yesterday, saying that they are appalled and deeply sorry for what McSally endured, adding, "We are steadfast in our commitment to eliminate this reprehensible behavior and breach of trust in our ranks." One of the things that Senator McSally said was that she felt like the system was raping her all over again. How do you change that?
Well, first of all, every time one of these big revelations happens, the services say, "Oh, we're sorry, we're sorry, we're sorry." We don't, they don't condone it. And of course, from a very high level, nobody condones it. But they haven't done enough to figure out what the problem is and to solve the problem. They haven't attacked the culture that is very misogynistic, that excludes women or marginalizes women. They haven't gone after or even recognized that there is a cultural problem and that it's endemic to the military.
So what do they do? What do they need to do to change that piece of it? Because cultural change is a lot different than changing reporting structure, for example, as you're talking about.
Exactly. So we've gone at this just piecemeal, which is a mistake, in my opinion. We need to do systematic change. We need to go at this as though it's a huge organizational change effort. And we've never done that. All we've done is attack little bits.
Actually, I got to interrupt you because Senator Gillibrand is actually talking about this very topic right now live. I want to take you there now.
Because the problem we have in the U.S. military is even last year there were 15,000 cases of unwanted sexual contact, rape, and assault, and only 3% are ending in conviction. It is terrible that men and women who are serving in our military today do not have faith in the system, in the military justice system, to find their perpetrators, to hold them accountable, and to get justice. What we are seeing, however, is just massive amounts of retaliation. In fact, even in the last report from the military, 59% of survivors are being retaliated. Even Senator McSally said that she felt she was re-traumatized because of how she was treated by those she disclosed that she'd been assaulted. So we need accountability. So our bill, the Military Justice Improvement Act, basically takes the decision-making out of the chain of command, gives it to trained military prosecutors, which will professionalize the system. It's the same thing that our allies have done over decades to protect defendants' rights, not even just to fix problems in their military justice system, but to create a more credible system that is more accountable and more transparent. So if we can make that one change, we probably have more cases going forward into the criminal justice system, more cases going forward to court-martial, and more convictions.
Do you encourage her to...
So, given what we just heard, Colonel Herring, do you think now that it is being talked about more and more by women in power here, by members of Congress who are hoping to make change? Are you optimistic? Do you have hope things will change?
I don't think things are going to change significantly anytime soon. And the reason is because she's attacking one piece of this puzzle.
By she, you mean
Senator Gillibrand. And she's been phenomenal and dogged about attacking that piece. But that's just one element. And that's punishing perpetrators after they've committed a crime. Now, my hope is that what she's trying to do here is it sends a message that we take sexual assault, we consider like we consider murder, that it is such a heinous crime that we will not tolerate it. So I hope that will drive a culture change.
And we take a look here at Senator McSally in uniform. Colonel Ellen Herring, we appreciate your service and you being here on set with us as well. Thank you very much.